pages 3, oh, you're ahead of us, 3,
There's stuff in the air.
4, 5, 3, 4, and 5.
We'll email you too.
Yeah. Start looking at those prioritization plans and kind of from what you learned from in modules 1 through 4, what would you do first? Would you do your exit? Would you do ambulating? What would you do first? Start
What order
filling
would
that
you
out.
wanna do
Right,
it?
the order. Just this one. So all they really need to do is the one for practice activity 2. Get those completed, okay, by next week. And then we'll review the other one,
They're both
which
the
would be
same.
practice
Just in the
activity,
first
or
one,
you
the
could do
plan
that
will
ahead of
give you
time
suggested ones,
if
and
you wanna
put them
just
in order.
practice.
Then later on,
Practice
you have to
activity
come up
3.
with
So
the
practice activity
steps
2
that
and
you're gonna
practice
take out
activity
your
3.
head.
Okay.
Practice activity 3 has to do with module 6. So you can review module 6 and kind of look at that and see, okay, what do I think? Let me just preliminary, and then we'll review that in class. And we'll review all those case scenarios and the prioritization plan in class. And this way you'll learn how to develop your prioritization plan. Not write, you gotta learn how to write as simple as you can, especially when you get in the nursing clinical area, because you gotta be quick and you have a lot of information and you have to kind of make it concise.
Yeah, you're not
Alright.
gonna be able to write every little bit of dangling a patient,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
or you're gonna fill up half your sheet. So learn what dangle the patient needs to use, and make sure you remember all the things that go with it.
So for your test, you need to make sure you review everything that was in module 1. That includes ethics.
Trusting your life.
Remember Carla talked about accountability, the nursing process, objective and subjective, the different organizations. We talked about the ANA, the Joint Commission, the T-Bond. Know what's evidence-based medicine?
Based on science and research.
Evidence means it's based on what? Research, evidence.
And to get the outcome that's needed, a positive outcome,
So
okay?
when you saying knowing the different organizations, are we needing to know like their
So if I asked you who developed the National Patient Safety Goals?
I'm just trying to
Then
Joint
you'll know
Commission.
T-Bond.
Oh.
Joint
Who's-
Commission,
right,
you know,
right.
okay.
So that's what okay.
Who's
the
developed our
professional
nursing,
organization?
right, who developed the Nursing Practice Act?
ANA.
Where's the
Right.
scope of practice?
Okay, that's
So
what I
that's
wanted
what
to
you
know
need to know,
versus
you need to know where do you get your licensure from?
TTBON.
Okay, so that's
Right.
what you need to
Okay.
know. You don't have to know specifically
Thank you.
what those organizations,
Answer
but
my
you need to know specifics as far as who's responsible
For what?
for what,
Okay.
okay?
That's what.
Know about the nurse-patient relationship. What's the most important thing about the nurse-patient relationship?
Patient centered.
No, that's HIPAA, because you need to know HIPAA.
we do.
But remember, Carla talked about being authentic
Oh, yes.
and honest. Meaning, when you go
What
in
kind
and
of
talk to a
relationship
patient,
are you working with?
Professional.
professional relationship,
Caring
interpersonal,
relationship.
right, interpersonal. You don't want, if the patient asks you a question,
Right.
you don't know that question, you don't make it up.
Right.
You don't make up the answer. You
Right.
find, either you know it or you'll
Oh.
find out for them, or tell them you didn't find the answer, but you'll find someone that might
Right.
be able to help them. So
Right.
honesty is the key.
Absolutely.
Okay. Module 2 had to do with what? What was the most important thing?
We just got checked off on it
We did.
today.
No.
That's hand washing.
What's going to help you with the COVID-19?
Hand washing.
Hand hygiene. Okay. Know the different precautions
Yes.
for transmission-based isolation. So you know the standard, there's airborne, there's droplet. You need to know what equipment is needed for each one. When you read a question, make sure, don't go in thinking, okay, all of this, you need this equipment for this. Read the question. Even though you identify what the isolation is, read the question. What is the nurse going in there to do? Okay? Because if you're going to say somebody has contact isolation, okay? So that's contact. Do you need, if you're just going in to tell them something,
Right.
do you need your gown and your gloves?
No.
No.
If you're not gonna touch anything in the room,
Mm-mm.
you don't need anything.
Right, okay. So read over that. Know the differences. okay? The equipment and application, and know about standard precautions and how to utilize them. Module 3, know your SBAR. Know the importance of communication. What's the communication tool that we use? What do we do all the times to ensure that everybody knows what's going on? Documentation.
Charts,
Okay.
yes, documentation.
Know your HIPAA, okay? Know HIPAA.
That was-
SBAR
you were on the
is
right
separate
track,
from
too.
the main
Okay.
system that we're always doing. The SBAR is what the doctor wants. from
SBAR is a
that day. It's
communication.
different
Remember, that's a national
Exactly.
patient safety goal. It's
Yes.
all about
It's a-
communication,
A standardized format for communication.
Right.
You
okay?
can use
Don't
it
mix
from
it.
nurse to nurse too.
Mhm.
You just alter it a little bit, but yeah.
Module 4 and 5, know the restraints. Everything that we talked about, restraints, everything, remember I said you need to know your range of motion, okay? When you perform range of motion, when do you know that you have to stop?
Patient asks or
More than 5 times?
Yeah, if they're hurting or what else,
They get,
If it get tired,
right?
right,
they
okay,
ask you.
all right.
yeah.
Okay, so know when to stop, know the range of motion positions, know that you don't hyperextend.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, all right. Positioning, know your positions and why you utilize them. Know all about transferring a patient. Carla just showed you safety, dangling. Know why you dangle. Know orthostatic hypotension. Know the safety issues. The bag below the bladder, right? Know all of that, okay? And you'll be ready for the test. It's 25 questions, multiple choice. It may say select all that apply. There's only maybe about two or three questions maybe.
I think there's not supposed to be more than two.
More than
per
2 questions.
exam.
Read the questions carefully. If you don't know something, stop, go to the next one. Just mark that down and come back to it. Yes.
Would there be questions that there will be more than one answer, but it doesn't say select the ones that apply?
If it's no. There may be questions, I understand what you're saying, that yes, there's more than one answer in there that could be correct, but it'll say what's the best or what's gonna provide the safest, those kind of things, okay?
Those
When
are
it said what
clues
is the
to use.
best or most important, it means, okay, something
Or
else
the
is important in
priority.
there, but what's the priority? You pick the best one. What's gonna keep you safe? What's the correct way to do something? Okay? All right?
I think that will hold all the time, but don't rely on it totally.
No,
What?
no,
Rest
read
of
the
it.
question. Yeah, got it.
Uh-huh.
So what she was talking about was, on most nursing tests, if you have an option to assess the patient, that's generally the right answer, the first thing to do.
The first thing to
You
do, if
assess the
something is
situation.
wrong,
Right.
but,
You don't know what intervention or what action to take until you know why what's occurring is occurring.
yeah, you need to read the question,
Right.
because they may say that this is already